Magomed Ankalaev has fired back at Alex Pereira after Alex claimed the champ hid from him to avoid an interaction at UFC PI. The Dagestani champion went straight to Twitter. "This clown who I'm fighting said I'm hiding from him. I'm giving him a rematch and he should be very grateful. I whooped him for 5 rounds and I did everything I wanted to him during the fight. Let's focus on fighting and not trash talking. This guy has been knocked out 3 times in his career. I never been knocked down. This time I will give him his 4th knockout. End of the story. Don't talk too much. One way to the tire shop after this fight. For context, only one man has actually knocked out Pereira in the UFC, Israel Adesanya, back at UFC 287. Pereira got a little too aggressive in that rematch and Adesanya clipped him clean, closing the show with brutal shots. The other 2 knockouts on Pereira's record come from his old kickboxing career, with the last one happening in 2016. This rivalry is heating up fast, and with UFC 320 just weeks away, the rematch is shaping up to be one of the most personal title fights of the year.
If Pereira is to win, it's got to be in dramatic fashion. I do not believe that they can go 5 rounds and that Pereira's going to get the jump on him. It's a matchup issue. I don't think if these guys fought 5 times or they fought 500 times, this is going to switch. Not only would Pereira be very massive coming out the back end, but now they're one apiece, which is a problem. The first fight wasn't asked for. The first time that these guys fought is because we found ourselves in a situation where there was just nowhere else to go. Pereira, who is already a star. Pereira, who has done nothing but title fights and main events. If Pereira was to get over on Ankalaev, it would make it all worth it. Ankalaev is largely doing his part. Ankalaev is doing everything he can to get something going here. He's playing along on social media. He's training his butt off. He's a really awesome fighter.
Merab Dvalishvili just fired back at Cory Sandhagen's warning ahead of their massive showdown at UFC 320. After the champ promised he'd stand and bang, Cory quickly shot back, saying that would be a mistake. But in his latest interview with New York Post Sports, Merab doubled down, saying his striking has leveled up and he's confident to trade. Of course, everyone knows Merab's clearest path to victory is through his relentless wrestling, drowning opponents with pressure until they break. But if he really sticks to his word and chooses to strike, we could be in for a very different kind of fight, and we've already seen how dangerous that gamble can be. It wasn't too long ago Belal Muhammad abandoned his wrestling against a slick striker and lost his belt because of it. The Georgian has to be careful not to fall into the same trap. Merab is closing in on history ahead of his fight with the Sandman. He's just 3 takedowns away from becoming the first UFC fighter ever to land 100 takedowns inside the octagon. He has already shattered GSP's record of 90, sitting at 97 right now, and with his relentless style, most expect him to add to that number with ease.
People keep telling me, don't do this, don't listen, I do whatever I want, and I will prove it again. You know, like I'm really motivated for this fight to, you know, go and strike with Cory Sandhagen. It's an MMA fight, whatever it takes, but I'm really ready for, you know, exchange some big punches, and I think I can crack him, and that's the goal, you know. But it's an MMA fight, and we all see where fights will go. Don't be surprised if Cory Sandhagen will shoot on me too. And but I wanna exchange some big punches, and I'm you know, my striking is good. I used to strike more before. When I stopped it, I was more focused on wrestling, but now I'm back.
Khamzat Chimaev recently revealed that he had an intense sparring session with Ilia Topuria as he awaits the official announcement of his first UFC title defense. Khamzat has been staying in the UAE. Alongside him is his friend, Russian vlogger Adam Zubayarev, who frequently films interviews and day-in-the-life vlogs featuring Khamzat. Recently, Khamzat and Zuba sat down for an interview. At one point, they started discussing his dominant win over Robert Whittaker at UFC 308, an event that was headlined by Max Holloway Holloway versus Ilia Topuria. When discussing the main event and the Georgian's victory over Holloway, Khamzat casually mentioned that he had sparred with Ilia shortly before the fights. Despite the noticeable size and weight difference, he admitted that he didn't hold back. Chimaev is a close friend of Georgian fighter Guram Kutateladze, who also shares a strong bond with Topuria. Ilia has trained with Guram numerous times, and there is even footage of Ilia and Khamzat working together at All Stars Gym. Here's what Khamzat said, quote, "He had a solid performance that night, and getting a finish over Holloway was impressive. It's a great achievement for Georgians, having a UFC champion in 2 divisions. I've trained with him a few times before, and recently he dropped by the gym while visiting Guram. We did some sparring, and sometimes I forget that I have a fight coming up and end up going all out, just like in regular training. He tried to go hard, so I cracked him with some hard shots and then took him down. Let's not talk about what I did after that. It's not necessary." End quote. Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo just broke down the huge light heavyweight clash going down this weekend between Carlos Ulberg and Dominick Reyes, and they both agree this fight could very well be a title eliminator. Carlos is riding serious momentum right now, tearing through the division with a crazy win streak, and if he gets another statement victory here, a title shot seems inevitable. On the other side, Reyes is quietly putting together a 3-fight win streak of his own, and taking out Ulberg would instantly catapult him back into title contention. But of course, everything hinges on how UFC 320 plays out between Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. If Pereira wins, we might be staring at a trilogy. If Ankalaev wins, then it's time for fresh blood at the top, and either Ulberg or Reyes could get that call. Usman and Henry didn't hold back on how big this fight is for Reyes in particular. After suffering 4 brutal losses in a row and nearly being written off, a victory here would complete one of the greatest comebacks in UFC history. Let's dive into what Henry and Kamaru had to say.
Let's talk about Ulberg, man. His style was very, very similar to what Israel Adesanya does. They like to be patient. They break the foundation, and then the hands and everything starts coming. But this is the sport of mixed martial arts, bro, where it only takes 7 pounds of pressure with that beautiful MMA glove to put you the hell out. Remember, dude, with Dominick Reyes has, we thought he was gonna get cut. He went 4 in a row, bro, looting in brutal fashion, dude. The way that Yuri Prochazka hit him with that elbow, dude, I thought he was done. I was like, dude, Jesus, man, it's almost like put a casket there. But he was able to come back to win 3 straight, bro, all by knockouts. If there's one thing that I do say that Dominick Reyes has above everybody, is he knows how to fight backwards. But my question is for him, does he have the right game plan? Could Dominick Reyes bring in some wrestling? Did you know that he was a wrestler prior to coming into actual fighting? The dude has it.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.